We live?
We're live.
All right.
Hey, everybody. This is John. You know Jeff as well.
And Jeff.
Welcome to the first iteration of hopefully what will be many more of our podcast. We don't have a name yet. Some ideas that were floated were Riverboat Radio. We have J&J Sports, Jeff and John Sports, the Jeff and John Podcast, Queen City Quips, just to name a few. So I don't know even where we're going to be posting this, but we'd love some input, hopefully constructive, and excited to kind of see where this goes.
Yeah, absolutely. At basically just trying to two Cincinnati boys who like to talk about the Bengals football. Hopefully, we'll get into more Cincinnati sports also. But with the draft coming up, figured it'd be a good time in a week here to discuss what we think our Bengals are going to do with the coveted number 1 pick, and what we think maybe they should do also. Just a little bit about that. If you want to hop into it, John. All right.
Yeah, and before we even do, Jeff, I just wanted to give us a shout out. Kudos to us off the bat for taking this leap, giving it a shot. Something I know we talk, we bullshit a lot, frankly, when it comes to sports back and forth. So.
About daily.
So we've talked around the idea, or thrown the idea around of, and we're giving it a shot. And another thing I wanted to point out, we're doing this on camera. A lot of people don't do it on camera. I listened to a lot of first podcasts today. A lot of homework went into this thing. I just want everyone to know that. And
that's true.
I think we deserve kudos for that. So just wanted to get that out of the way.
I appreciate that. I agree with you.
Absolutely. First order of business. So we're a week away from the draft. So it's coming up the 16th today of April. So I guess that'd be the 23rd.
Yeah, the 23rd.
And being that we are Bengals fans, Joe Burrow is the highly anticipated number 1 pick, pretty much across the board. We're seeing that name. So I guess I'll kick it to you, Jeff. What are your thoughts on the pick?
That's going to happen, right? It's pretty much a lock. I heard a story that they spent all their allotted time that you can with a rookie coming in, interviewing him, talking to him. Ohio kid. I played for his dad, Jimmy, out at OU, so that was awesome. And good to see Jimmy Burrow on the camera a lot during the season. Watched his son put together arguably the best college football season ever.
Yep.
So wins the Heisman Trophy, wins the national championship, brings it home for Coach O down at LSU. Look, we'll talk about this too, and what maybe you and I think they should do. But you can't be mad about this pick.
No, because Jeff and I met a little bit. We met a couple hours ago today, just quickly on the phone. And we're like, all right, so what are we gonna? You don't want to hash these podcasts out as we're slowly learning. And I was like, what are my thoughts? I don't know. It's the smart pick, right? What else are you gonna do? You gotta trade the pick and take a leap of faith on a free agent. You could. If I was in their position, I'd probably take him. He had a great season. I don't think he's like a generational talent. He's not like an Andrew Luck type guy. But he put together, an incredibly impressive season, Heisman winner. The biggest thing was the completion percentage. He was 76% this year. That's crazy. So I'm sure he'll do good things. I think it's it's the obvious pick for a lot of reasons, especially with Dalton on the way out. But as far as analysis goes,
he's a prototype quarterback that looks like right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And you mentioned his completion percentage. I think the only person that he was better than, and I'll fact check myself on this, but I'm pretty sure it's Tua.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm sure. That's the only stat I looked up. I had it written on my paper. So kudos to me for
looking that up. But no, I think that is. So it's like if Tua hadn't gotten hurt, would we be now talking about would the Bengals take him?
No doubt. I remember talking to some of our buddies probably in like October. I was saying Tua is no brainer for me.
Yeah.
I've seen Burrow for a long – like you have your background with Burrow. I'm a big Ohio State fan, so I've seen him his whole career. And he got beat out by Dwayne Haskins just for strictly like arm talent.
Yep.
And you kind of see the same thing. Like he's a great quarterback, but he doesn't drive it down the field. Tua does. And Tua, national championship winners, a freshman. There aren't a lot of those guys. He pops a little bit more to me, but again, hip injuries – you're going to go with the safe pick, especially at
It's scary stuff. Like the hip injury stuff kind of scares you, right? But dude, I remember when they won that national championship when he came in as a freshman, and I was like, "Oh, this is over."
Hurts had won the year before as a freshman,
Yeah,
right? As
yeah,
a redshirt
yeah,
freshman.
yeah. But remember that game? It went to overtime, and they got like it was like third and like 31 or something,
Right.
and it throws that rope down the sideline for the touchdown. I got hopped up out of my seat back when I lived up in Westchester. I remember sitting there watching that down that TV down in my basement there. Oh my God. I was so hyped for that.
He's got it. He's got it more than I think Burrow has it. But
yeah.
The statistics and all the experts would tell you probably something to the contrary, but I don't know. That is what it is. But
yeah. So we obviously want him. So Burrow would be awesome to have, but I would take 2 at 2, I think, and that's what like we talked about it earlier. Okay, so Miami Dolphins come to you and say we have the 5th, 16th and 26th pick.
Yeah, something like that.
We have those 3 first-round picks. You can have all 3 of them if we can get number 1. So now you take it
all day. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess let's switch gears to like if we had control. I mean, I would take him. I wouldn't change anything. Yeah. But there's some real interesting what ifs. Like I'm a big Cam Newton fan. I would love to sign Cam. We still have Dalton for a year, and you could get real creative with the rest of those picks. It's hard to kind of dissect like what other, I guess, scenarios there could be just because you don't know how conversations are. You don't know what you could get for a certain thing.
Right.
But, I mean, I like the pick. I would take him. I guess if you're going to switch gears on it, I'd probably go for a free agent signing and try to get some more help in other areas or try to get more value for the pick. But
free agent signing a quarterback.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. But so you have to get Cam or Jameis. So Cam.
Take pressure off him. He's still a good quarterback.
Oh, 100%. I think he's going to come. I think he's coming back with I think he's coming back with a vengeance.
I think so too. Yeah. He became not sexy very fast, but I still think he's a hell of a quarterback.
Good little hot take there.
Right.
Not sexy very fast. I like that.
That's
you're right. No, you know what? You're right about that. But all right, so if we're going through scenarios in the first round, thinking about that, right? Who else? What did you mention earlier when we were talking? You said, what if the Redskins? What crazy scenario would be if the Redskins said, "Hey, look,
take Dwayne.
We want Joe Burrow, so we have to go to the Redskins and say, okay, you give us Haskins and your number 2 pick."
I would take it.
Yeah,
I think Dwayne's. I can't say better because he had a pretty crappy rookie season, but Dwayne's legit. Dwayne just is in a horrible situation, and they don't want him anymore. So, yeah, that scenario, I would certainly take the switch.
New coach, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I believe in Dwayne. Dwayne beat him once. Like,
yeah,
he's younger. Also, he's still a year younger. Joe's like he'll be 24 halfway through the season. Like, I get you don't have to be young to get in the league to be good, but it's generally an indication of how good you are, like how quick you can make it.
Well, you also look at so Joe Burrow came into the season ranked as a 4th round draft pick?
Something like that. Yeah.
Maybe at best. So look at all the quarterbacks that come. Jamarcus Russell from LSU also had that unbelievable senior year, and then what he came back to the league and was playing tight end or something like that when he came. He tried out as a tight end or something.
Right. Yeah. I think it was tackle. I think he tried to be
tackle. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Like I think that's why it's a crapshoot when you look at Joe Burrow at number 1. As much as we'll be happy with him, as much as we'll love him here, you never really know. So if the Dolphins, I know a lot of that talk has kind of died down, but if the Dolphins did come to us and say, we'll give you 2 first rounders and maybe a 2nd rounder next year, I'm taking it.
All day. He's the safe pick. He's the pick. He's the pick you do and you take. But I don't know. I won't be shocked if he's not the starter in 4 years. Like we'll see how it goes.
Yes.
Who knows? You never know, really. But
no, you don't. Well, all right. So talking about that, we're staying with the Bengals. We saw Mel Kiper. You were watching it just before we got on. Give his hot take on the Bengals, which we both appreciate because we think the Bengals a lot of times do get bad rap, even though last year they were horrible, right? I mean, last year they deserved pretty much all the crap that everyone gave them.
For sure.
But Mel Kiper came on and said, this is ridiculous that you can't win in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He said it's completely crazy. He said it was like offensive. And he pointed at, back in the 80s, we are the Bengals, right?
Right.
But I think they've been getting an unfair amount of criticism around kind of what situation he's falling into. We made 5 straight playoff appearances from 2010 to 2015. I believe it's only the second team in the league who did that, maybe with the Patriots. There was
something like that.
And we had some good years with Carson. Like, it's a lot of it, again, depends on the situation. But Zach Taylor, I mean, like him or not, he's the coach. And he was the QB coach with Goff and in that, Rams system that was doing well. He's got a nice young quarterback. I think it could be interesting. I don't know. We'll see.
It could. I think you're right. Vegas has us at 5 wins. We finally did some stuff in 5. That's what it is.
That's not great. All right.
I'm taking the over. But yeah, the experts. I'm taking the over on that.
I got a podcast.
We have a podcast that we just started. but seriously, 5 wins. I'm taking the over for sure, especially with the free agency we just had. Two good defensive backs, Trey Waynes and Alexander from Minnesota, right? Yep. And then you have DJ Reader.
Von Bell in the back.
Yeah, that's right.
They got a couple D linemen too. I know you've been keeping up with the free agent. DJ Reader. I'm sorry, from Houston. Yep. Yeah, I mean, we paid him and Trey Waynes pretty much a bunch of money, but I mean, with how bad the defense was, I think it's worth it. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you got AJ coming back on the tag.
Yep.
Right, he's getting $20 million or something stupid like that.
Something like that.
They need to help the O-line. I was looking at some of the mock drafts. I'd love a guy like Cesar Ruiz out of Michigan. We need some kind of interior line help because we've been making those picks, but they just aren't panning out. So they need to get something out there quick.
Right.
It's frustrating watching them spend on like free agents because we let 2 Pro Bowlers walk. Zeitler and who was our left tackle?
Whitworth. Goes.
We didn't want to pay them.
Goes to Los Angeles and goes to the Super Bowl. Super Bowl.
Zeitler,
one of the best tackles. Dude.
So,
it's
unbelievable. You can invest all you want, in the perimeter guys. Like, that's a whole other story. But they need to improve somehow in the line, or it's still going to be ugly. But
it's good
to at least see Mel believes in us.
Yeah, that's right. Mel believes in us. I love it. Shout out to Mel Kiper. But in his mock draft came out yesterday, which I know we've been looking at a little bit. But before I just saw Joe Mixon is thinking about possibly holding out if he doesn't get a deal. Just saw it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see.
But it's also kind of like
him in the first place.
You can't blame. Dude, he's had such great years.
I don't really like the whole wife beating thing or girl.
Okay.
I don't care. Like, just come on, man. He can hold out then.
Yeah, and he probably will.
Him.
He probably will. Yeah, they'll
pay AJ enough.
They'll pay him. Yeah. All right. So what else? You want to dig into who else?
So I was looking at the mock draft. On that ESPN account I purchased today to view it, and I thought we'd go through just a couple different round one, kind of interesting players. There were a few ones that kind of jumped out at me that I thought were interesting.
Who do you like?
So I don't necessarily like them, but I wanted to point something interesting out. So the Ruggs kid out of Bama, fastest guy in the draft, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I was thinking, what are the fastest players and how have they performed? So he was the fastest since John Ross II, right? One of our beloved Bengals.
Yes.
If you go down the list, the only 40 burner guy that really did something, there's 2. It's Champ Bailey and it's Chris Johnson. No one else is. If you go through the rankings at home, listeners and viewers, and take a look at it for yourself.
You're right.
He's kind of like a Darius Hayward Bay vibe to me for a 2009 reference.
I could see that.
You know what I mean?
This wide receiver class is so ridiculous. Bama has 2 first rounders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But no, you're right. I'm trying to think about, all right, so who came out known as the fastest guy? But even Chris Johnson, I mean, he had that one really, really good year. and maybe
he balled out in like 06. He was CJ2K. Right? He had 2,000 yards. Yep.
2,000 yards. Yeah. Well, yeah, the one really, really good year. Champ Bailey is he's a Hall of Famer, right? Is Chris Johnson a Hall of Famer?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Tires kind of wore out.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean, that's interesting. No, that's interesting because you think, okay, Kuiper has him going 21 to the Eagles. Okay, are they going to get John Ross just a little bit later in round 1?
Right. So my analysis earlier was not sexy. He's right now very sexy.
He is. You're right.
A very sexy award.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. He's just one that I thought was interesting.
That is it. I'll tell you what, though, his teammate, Judy, who's supposed to go to Jacksonville based on from what Mel is saying. I mean, dude, he goes to Jacksonville. I think he's the best wide receiver in the draft. I think the Jefferson kid out of LSU doesn't get enough love. But I think that Judy's the best.
Number 2.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Lamb's up there also, obviously. But he goes to Jacksonville, who I think is probably the worst team in football right now.
Aren't good. They're not good.
Yeah, they're not good.
The draft would indicate we are the worst team in football, but
yes,
100%. That's neither here nor there.
All right, that's true. After free agency, I would venture to say Jacksonville is the worst team in football.
Yeah,
free agency,
they've got some issues.
Yeah, they have some issues. You know what I mean? But so you do add him, and you have D.D. Westbrook and who's it, DJ Clark? Yeah. As those 3 guys as their wide receivers, that's a dangerous like trio right there.
Yeah, it is.
But they're they are bad. My favorite player in the draft is Isaiah Simmons from Clemson.
I got him on my list too, Jeff.
He's unbelievable.
Who's he remind you of? I had one that I was like, he's just like this guy. Buckeye. He's a Buckeye. He's a Buckeye linebacker who's paralyzed. To narrow it down.
Who? Pollock?
Shazier. Ryan Shazier.
Jesus.
He's just like Shazier. He's just bigger.
What did I say? Pollock went to Georgia.
I don't know. No, he got paralyzed too.
Yeah. No, Shazier. You're right. Yeah.
He's just like Shazier, but he's bigger. He's taller and weighs more, and he's like just as fast. He's a freak.
You could put him back he plays safety sometimes.
Yeah. I was trying to find the fastest linebacker 40s of like the past 10, 15 years. It's surprisingly hard. But he's got to be up there.
What did he run? He ran a 4.38, didn't he?
4.39, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. God sakes, that is fast, man.
He's ridiculous
for a linebacker like that. I think one really interesting guy who also plays linebacker is Queen out of LSU. Who, right now Mel has him at 28 to Baltimore. If he falls to 33 for the Bengals second round. I don't think you can pass him up.
Yeah, I'd agree. We need help there too.
The Bengals linebackers, dude. He has them taking Josh Jones, the O-tackle out of Houston. All right, I mean that's fine, but it's just like I think we could get another lineman some other time down the draft, and there's still some free agents out there, offensive linemen.
Vontez is out there, isn't he?
Yeah,
he is.
If we want to go that way for linebacker, no way they're bringing Vontez back.
I'm just saying.
No way, man. No way. I mean, I love.
You got a party, man.
I love Vontez when he was at the Bengals.
Yeah.
How could you not? He just played hard. And people hated him. And who says? I think it's Coffee, our buddy Zach, always says this. People hate him because the Steelers hate him because he is a Steeler who plays for the Bengals.
I always thought if he ever left us, they're the first team that would reach out to him.
They'll take him. Yeah.
Yeah, because he fits their mold.
The hatred was so much, though.
Yeah. There's a bunch of things about him ending AB's career with that.
Come on.
I agree. It's crazy. That's Twitter talk. That's too much internet time. Too much screen time in quarantine.
It is. It's ridiculous.
I had a player, not a first-round guy. I think he's a first-round talent, and it blows my mind that if he falls, I think to the players, AJ Epinesa out of
the DN out of Iowa. Yeah.
Dude, he was projected like a top 5 pick last year.
Yeah.
He had a good year. He's a stud DN out of Iowa, if you don't know him. He ran a 5.04 in the 40. They've got him projected as a mid-second round guy. That is bananas to me. If he doesn't go top 20, like that's the steal of the draft in my eyes because he ran a 5.04. Yes, you ran a 4.88. Who are the two guys, two of the best young DNs in the freaking league who ran 4.8, 4.9? The Bosa twins.
Or the Bosa boys. Yeah.
Okay, I think you'll be fine if you're just running a 5 flat. If you're a good football player, I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, and he played in the Big Ten and he played in the Big Ten and he dominated.
Stud.
Yeah, absolute stud. I think he was an All-American.
Stud in the NFL, like the whole thing.
So Mel has him going 40 to the Texans.
Yeah, but the great thing about that, so if he actually did go that position to the Texans, what a better teacher than J.J. Watt, another guy who
none.
40 wasn't great, ever. But he's just a good football player. That would be a great situation, but hopefully he doesn't find himself in it.
Look, dude, JJ, what was JJ? He was a tight end at, Central Michigan and then left, and then he ended up walking on to Wisconsin.
Western, I think,
or something like that. I mean, you're right about that. There's no one better to teach him. And the Texans, that's a team who's had a very interesting offseason, trading away Hopkins. Now, they did sign Cooks and Randall Cobb.
Yeah.
But I take Hopkins over both of them and David Johnson every day of the week.
Some person on Twitter was they got me. They tweeted some fake, like Deshaun Watson has openly requested a trade. I don't know. It got me yesterday. I was like, what the hell is going on there?
like a clickbait thing?
No, it wasn't clickbait. It was a tweet, but they were trying to incite mayhem, and it worked for me for 30 seconds. I was like, why isn't anyone else talking about this?
No, I didn't hear that. I did hear yesterday, a couple of my buddies that I'm in a group chat with from college, a couple of them were talking that they heard that Odell Beckham was in trade talks with the Vikings.
Yeah, I saw that because they got rid of Diggs.
Yeah, I mean,
where's Diggs?
Be awesome. Diggs is in Buffalo.
Buffalo, that's right.
Buffalo's going to be good, man.
Yeah, I love them. I mean, how can you not like the Bills? But
Bills Mafia, love it.
So I know we didn't really. One of the things that we were supposed to do at the front end of this that we kind of dropped the ball on. We didn't really kind of give you guys any idea of essentially what the content of this podcast is going to be about. Obviously, sports. You've been hearing us talk a lot about that. Another big thing that we like to do is make sport rankings or lists. So what we're hoping to do with each show is kind of incorporate a little bit of current events in sports and pop culture on the front end. Then we'll get into our list pieces because I know if you're a friend of ours, Jeff and I are very passionate about this subject. And the one that we had in mind for today is, and I hope I got this right when you had mentioned it. I scribbled it down. Future 5. That's why I wrote down Future 5. So the best players, if you had to start a franchise right now in the NFL over the next course of 5 years, who would you want on your team, or who would you start the pick with?
For success over the next 5 years.
Right.
Yeah, like you're trying to build a 5-year dynasty. Who do you choose?
And it has to be so. If we're saying, for instance, all right, if you have to pick a receiver, who would the receiver be?
Yes,
that's the premise.
You get two.
Right?
You get two wide receivers.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
I wrote down a bunch of names because I'm an idiot, and I was like,
quarterback. Start with your quarterback. I think we're probably going to agree on that one.
I bet we're saying Mahomes.
Yes. If you said anything different, we just got another 10, 15 minutes of me.
You're right. No, so now this is funny though. So next to it, I wrote down because it's about to happen. We'll see what happens. I wrote down Burrow.
I wrote down Deshaun Watson.
Oh damn! How do I not even think about that? Man. You're not kidding.
Or Murray, freaking Murray out in Arizona. I wouldn't take him
over
either. Deshaun Watson's such a stud though.
You're right. You know what
Mahomes, but
you know what I also wrote down? I wrote down I knew neither one of us were going to say Dak Prescott.
No thanks.
Right? Obviously. But he's about to become the highest paid quarterback in football.
Timing is everything.
Right. So that's interesting, right? I mean, that's crazy for the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. So it's like he's about to.
Jerry. Yesterday they announced he's going to start sitting out crap because he's doing the Zeke thing. They're going to pay him. I mean, it's Jerry Jones. You don't have to worry about Jerry paying you. He'll pay you.
Yeah. Stephen A. was on ESPN this morning. He was saying, or maybe it was Max Kellerman. It was Max Kellerman. He was saying the Cowboys are always give up and pay. They always do.
Right. Yeah. It's Jerry. He's got oil money, baby. Just win. That's Al Davis. But either way.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So running back now.
This is an easy one too.
For you, probably.
Saquon.
I think.
Come on. I know what you think. I know what you're going to say.
I'm going to say McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey, of course.
Yep. Yeah. So, no, I wrote down Saquon next to it, though. But I also wrote down someone you don't think about as Cook.
Yeah, I thought I was cheating a little bit and looking at, like, best young running backs.
Yeah. But I
figured you might.
But I didn't put him down, like, seriously because –
how can you put him ahead of a guy like Chubb? It's like apples to apples.
And also, he did have those, 2 years where he was injuries, like, out half the season.
Yeah. He got hurt.
You know what I mean?
I think he was out one whole season practically. He
tore his ACL too. What last year?
Sophomore no show. Yeah.
Right, but he came into the league.
Yeah, he's a good running back.
Yeah, he came out pissed and vinegar. It was unbelievable.
He's just not better than my pick. Is all I'm
saying. You're right. All right, so you go Saquon there, but I'll say McCaffrey.
And he just got paid too, $16 million a year, I believe.
Just got paid, highest paid running back ever.
Yeah, hard to argue that.
Yeah.
Wide receiver, I thought was the most difficult one.
100%. And I have –
there was one that I thought was clear-cut above anyone else I could find and think about. Because I was looking at all the receivers, all the best receivers are 27 or older right now.
Right, so that's
so if you're looking at 5 years, like if we're doing it honestly, like who would actually build my team with? You can't take a guy like Michael Thomas who's going to be 32 at the end of the day. Is that your guy?
That is my guy. But you're right. You're right. I agree.
Stem cell everywhere or something.
Dude, and he's going to be the Drew Brees diet they have. And Drew Brees is 100 years old, and he's still one of the best quarterbacks. Right?
Dude, I don't know. So 32 and a wide receiver, like
he's 32 years old.
He will be in 5 years. He's 27.
Oh, okay. Jesus, I was like, yeah, there's no way.
The quality of the analysis on that side of the screen. Look at their ages. Come on, this is ridiculous.
Hey, whatever. I got the draft up next to me. You know what I mean? I said some nice things earlier. No, all right. So I didn't. Okay, so he's 27. He's 27.
I took with the first overall fictional pick in my draft. I took Juju Smith-Schuster, 22. Don't be kicking. Oh,
what?
Dude.
I had the same argument with my buddies yesterday. The same group chat I was just talking to you about. I'm not saying he's not a stud. I'm not saying he's not a stud.
Age 19.
There are 15 wide receivers that you would start a team with over him today.
Not right now. I just told you he's my first one.
No, there are 15 that would take him in the NFL. There are 15 wide receivers that would take him as their number one for 15 NFL teams.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. That just reinforces my argument. Right now, he's only 22 right now. We're talking about 5 years.
Oh, you're saying later. Yeah, but you still want instant gratification of
he's
like
instantly going to catch for 1,000 yards. Like I mean,
look, you're right. He had.
If you don't like that one, you're really not going to like my other one.
No, all right. Look, you're right. He had. Who do you have? Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges throwing him the football last year. So I get the down year.
Dude, Smith,
I get the down year.
And he outshined AB. That last year.
Before.
I get AB had things going on, but.
Right, he did. No, you're right. The year before he did.
He's legit, dude. He's legit. Yeah. He's Pro Bowl.
He is.
It's hard. It's really hard to find young receivers that when you look at, you're like, okay, in 5 years, this guy's still going to be elite.
Let me give you one.
Sorry.
Godwin.
That was my second, if you want to.
Yeah.
Right here, baby.
There you go. He's an animal. I also wrote down, you could just think about it, Hopkins, just because who knows, but he's old.
That was the next one. I know. Yeah. He's 20. I was like, if anyone can do it, it's him.
It's Hopkins, yeah. But then I also put down Jerry Jeudy.
I can't argue with that. I didn't think about that, but that's a great idea. I can't argue that.
Yeah.
I don't know. CeeDee Lamb, I get he's an Oklahoma guy too, but he kind of reminds me of Hollywood Brown. Just same team, same uniform. That's probably part of it, but
explosive going to be a 2.
He's not that big, but he's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tight end. True. It's kind of.
We're going to have the same one.
So, Kittle.
Yeah.
Okay. The only other one I was looking at, I can't even think of the dude's name. Tight end for the Ravens. Let me give a live in real time on tweeting. Isn't that guy good?
Mark Andrews is really good. He was a rookie last year.
I didn't look him up too much. He had
look at the analysis on this side of the screen
versus
that side of the screen.
Dude, maybe that's the guy. I'm changing my selection since you did. I'm going to officially change my selection.
I put down Hooper also.
I can't argue that.
Yeah.
For defense.
This is where it's interesting.
There's so many people. So
wait. We should go back. Yeah, we should go back and say we're doing one quarterback, one running back, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, and 2 defensive impact players. And I know we've given a bunch of names here, but after this, we will solidify who we really think we would start a team with. Who's our true base after we get this talking out? Because I know who mine is.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But yeah. Okay. All right. So defense. Go back to what you're saying.
A lot of Buckeyes on this list, but when you dominate as a rookie defenseman, Nick Bosa you can't argue with. Nick Bosa, get on my level. Denzel Ward, 4th overall pick.
Man, I didn't think about that.
Dude, it's ridiculous. Other names I had Minkah Fitzpatrick and Jamal Adams. If I had to take one defensive back, I'd probably take Jamal Adams and I'd probably take Nick Bosa. Chase Young works in his way into the conversation. I haven't seen him, so I can't say. I would definitely take him over this starting Pro Bowl D-end who's a rookie at 22, Nick Bosa. But Nick's got injury things that have happened. Chase has really never been injured, knock on wood.
And his numbers are absurd.
They're stupid. So those are the ones. I'd probably go with Jamal and Nick Bosa.
I think that I have Chase and Nick were the first 2 names that I wrote down. Chase Young and Nick Bosa. But then, so I thought about this, and it's interesting you just said that. So you just said defensive backs, but you said 2 safeties. Because
Denzel Ward's cornerback.
But I'm sorry, you said Denzel. Sorry, you said Denzel Ward. It's interesting because I think cornerbacks are such game changers when they're so good. Like when Darrelle Revis was with the Jets, he was unbelievable. Darrelle Revis was unbelievable, right? But he only had one. They're only good for 1 year. Then the next year, someone else is a better cornerback.
Well, it's because they don't go to that guy. They just you leave him alone.
And that's a good point. You're right. And you don't see how the impact that they're making. Exactly. You get my point. There's always another one. Yeah. Every single year. But that's a good point. I didn't think
there's always a new toy, but it's hard when you're a cornerback, man. But I'm saying, you wouldn't know.
No, you're damn right. I wouldn't know. But I would definitely not know. But defensive ends, a lot of times they'll have 3 or 4 really, really good years. Like J.J. Watt had, you know what I'm saying, Cleo Max on his version. Yeah. So, but okay. So but now speaking of JJ, I did put down his brother TJ, who's an animal.
I thought he was the first one. I was like, ooh, this is gonna be a hot take. I can release to the public. Yeah. TJ's a stud. Same thing with him. You can't go wrong.
No, you're right. And then but here's one we didn't talk. Darius Leonard, linebacker out of Indy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he led the NFL in tackles as a rookie. If you go linebacker and lineman right there, or linebacker and safety. I'm sorry, lineman or safety. I think you have to go lineman, and then you have to have either a backer or probably a safety, right?
Yeah.
So all right. So then going into it, I'll go. I got Mahomes, McCaffrey, Thomas, Godwin, Kittle, and then first name I wrote down was Chase, and then I'm going to go Darius Leonard.
Okay. You might need a wheelchair for Thomas when he's 5 years old. Okay, so I got Mahomes, Kwan, Patrick Mahomes, Saquon, Juju and Godwin, Kittle, and then I'm going to go Jamal Adams.
I can't believe you went Juju.
Juju's a stud.
I'm sorry.
We'll have to have him on sometime and hear his opinion on this.
See what he says. I'm not saying he's not a stud, but to start your team for the next 5 years. All right, so you said Jamal and Nick. Jamal Adams and Nick Bosa.
That's right.
All right, well, look, we want the feedback on these. Tell us what you think, how stupid we might sound. We don't care. We just want to know what you think also so we can rip apart your opinions.
And let us know what you think about the name of this thing, because we don't have
the name. One. Yep. Yeah. But hey, look, dude, that was a ton of fun.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So next week, a week from today, is the actual draft.
Yes.
Jeff and I are anticipating probably doing another one, maybe a first-round reaction. I don't know. We'll play with the idea. But you lucky listeners
maybe
out
a live
there,
one. Maybe a live one.
Hopefully have some more of these coming. Yeah, maybe a live one.
Yeah. Hopefully you take a listen. Let us know what you think. We'll send it out, and we're looking forward to another one.
Awesome.
All right, dude. Have a good night, man.
Later, buddy.